did it!
What's up, WWE fans? You're watching Wrestling Edge Files, where every slam and surprise matters. Subscribe now, and let's roll in. The wrestling world was shaken in a way no one expected, and what unfolded left fans, performers, and insiders stunned. This is the story of how a beloved duo, Bianca, the EST Belmont, and her husband, Marcus Lightning Ford, went from being one of the industry's brightest forces to finding themselves at the center of a heartbreaking crisis. While the original conversation around this incident spiraled into rumors, finger-pointing, and speculation, what remains undeniable is that this was a moment that revealed deep cracks within the system, raising questions about communication, safety, and how the pressure of big-stage entertainment can sometimes push performers beyond reasonable limits. This isn't a story of blame. It's a story of missteps, missed warnings, and the emotional toll that comes with performing at the top of the industry. The rise of Marcus Lightning, Ford, and Bianca, the St. Belmont. Before the tragedy unfolded, Marcus Ford and Bianca Belmont were one of the most uplifting success stories in modern wrestling. Marcus, a second-generation athlete, blended speed, timing, and natural charisma into a style that electrified arenas. Bianca, already a fan favorite for her strength, agility, and connection with the crowd, had earned the nickname the EST for being the fastest, strongest, and most dynamic superstar in the company. Together, they became a powerhouse duo admired not just for their athletic skills, but also for the way they supported one another personally and professionally. Fans loved them because they represented everything inspiring about wrestling: teamwork, perseverance, and genuine passion for the craft. The corporate elite. A storyline that went too far. The couple's major storyline centered around an antagonistic faction known as the Corporate Elite, led by Vincent "The Suit" Sterling and his enforcer Bradley Knox. The story was larger than life, built around themes of power, pressure, and corruption. What began as a compelling on-screen rivalry grew increasingly intense, with high-stakes matches, backstage confrontations, and moments designed to create major buzz. While fans were loving the drama, many performers began noticing that the creative direction was pushing toward riskier segments, more complicated match structures, and increasingly ambitious stunt-style moments. Nobody imagined that the storyline, meant to showcase Bianca and Marcus at their peak, would soon become associated with unexpected turmoil, growing concerns, and miscommunication behind the scenes. In the weeks leading into the big pay-per-view match, concerns began surfacing. Trainers and producers noticed that some planned sequences required perfect timing and coordination. Marcus voiced worries about a particular high athletic maneuver that felt inconsistent in rehearsals. Bianca expressed that she and Marcus wanted everything to look spectacular, but also stable and controlled. Their comments weren't confrontational. They were simply performers wanting clarity and reassurance. However, between planning meetings, production deadlines, and the pressure to build a memorable main event moment, their concerns didn't receive the full attention they deserved. Communication gaps, not malice, led to uncertainty around how the final match would unfold. The night everything changed. The night of the event was meant to be a celebration. The arena was packed, fans were buzzing, and the chemistry between Bianca, Marcus, and the opposing faction was stronger than ever. The match began smoothly, filled with athletic exchanges, dramatic momentum shifts, and emotional storytelling. But midway through, during one of the more complex planned moments, timing slipped. Not drastically, but enough to disrupt the fluidity of the sequence. Marcus landed awkwardly from an elevated maneuver, and although it wasn't a life-threatening impact, it was clearly serious enough to halt the match. The arena fell silent as medical staff entered the ring. Bianca immediately dropped character and rushed toward Marcus, concern etched across her face. It was a human moment, a reminder that behind the lights and theatrics, real people were involved. The aftermath, a family's toughest test. Marcus was taken to a nearby medical facility where it was confirmed he suffered a significant but non-permanent leg and back injury. Doctors made it clear that he would need months of recovery and rehabilitation, and while the injury wasn't career-ending, it forced Marcus into a long break from performing. Bianca stayed by his side the entire way, balancing her responsibilities at home, supporting Marcus emotionally, and facing the difficult question of whether to return to work immediately or remain off-screen longer. Fans flooded social media with love, concern, and heartfelt prayers, reinforcing just how beloved the couple truly was. Meanwhile, the couple began navigating unexpected emotional and financial pressure due to Marcus's sudden absence from the ring, the industry's response, and internal reflection. The company released a statement expressing support for Marcus and gratitude for the quick action of the medical team. But behind closed doors, conversations had already begun about revisiting safety protocols, match structures, rehearsal processes, and communication between performers and production. It became clear that the incident didn't happen because of stubbornness or carelessness. It happened because multiple departments were moving fast, working hard, and unintentionally allowing important concerns to slip through the cracks. This moment became a turning point for the industry, prompting discussions about giving performers more room to express safety concerns and ensuring crews had enough time to prepare complicated match sequences. Whistleblowers, truth, and healing. Some backstage personnel later shared that they believe parts of the storyline should have been simplified or rehearsed differently. Their honesty wasn't about creating drama. It was about advocating for long-term improvements. These conversations led to the development of updated safety guidelines that ensured performers would have a more direct voice in creative decisions involving physical risks. Bianca, while still processing the emotional impact of Marcus's injury, participated in several meetings with producers and executives to help shape new communication standards. Her commitment ensured that future performers would benefit from clearer processes, better collaboration, and stronger safeguards. A new path for Bianca and Marcus. As Marcus continued healing, Bianca eventually returned to the ring with a renewed purpose, not just as a performer, but as someone determined to make the industry safer, kinder, and more respectful for everyone who steps through the ropes. Marcus, meanwhile, shifted temporarily into a developmental coaching role, helping younger wrestlers perfect timing, coordination, and safe execution of high athletic maneuvers. Together, they turned their pain into progress, shaping the culture of the industry in ways that will benefit future generations of performers. The lessons that must never be forgotten. The incident involving Marcus "Lightning" Ford wasn't the result of villains, conspiracies, or intentional harm. It was a wake-up call, a reminder that even in a scripted environment, communication, safety, and human limits must remain top priorities. Wrestling is built on trust between performers, between crews, and between creative vision and practical execution. What happened to Marcus and Bianca highlighted the importance of slowing down, listening, and ensuring everyone involved feels safe, heard, and respected. Their resilience, honesty, and unity turned a moment of crisis into a lasting legacy of growth and reform.